Today we are going to talk about how to insert your own video for analysis without using that rolling ball CMBL file. So when you open LoggerPro, this is the screen that you get, and if you want to insert your own video, you can go up to the menu up here, Insert, and you see that there's Movie. Click on that, and I'm going to use the robot car, which I downloaded from our PowerSchool page, and I put it on my desktop, so I'm just going to open that. And a nice little trick to get Windows to auto-arrange, or hopefully auto-arrange for you, is hold Command and R, and it'll rearrange the videos, and this looks very much like the rolling ball CMBL file. So now, when you look at the video that I have, some students run into this problem where it doesn't look like you have the menu tools on the side over here. So that button is down here, the three red dots with the arrow. This helps toggle between showing the menu and not showing the menu. So if you ever run into this problem where you don't have that menu, just go ahead and click that button. Okay, so here it's already set to track the motion. Again, if you start tracking and you don't see the dots, here's the button that helps you with that. So generally when you have these videos, you want to have a scale so that when LoggerPro is tracking, it can do meters and not pixels. So again, that's going to be this horizontal ruler is going to help us set the scale. So you click on that, it gives us a meter reading right here. So go ahead and do that. It already defaults like we're always doing a meter, but if your scale is ever different, you need to be thinking about the units that you're doing. We're generally going to be doing meters, but your distance that you might have might be half a meter or a couple of meters, so just be careful and pay attention to the scale that you have. So I'm going to click OK, and you'll notice down in the table area now our units are going to be tracked in meters and time is in seconds. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is if you don't run this video, you could start and realize that the car doesn't move for the first couple of frames. So you should just play through the video to figure out how long it takes for the video to start the motion of the car. So we can stop, we can bring it back. The other thing you can do is down here, this advances it frame by frame just as if you were using the motion tracker. So here, notice the first, you can see the hand moving and pointing to the car. So the first couple of frames, it's not moving, so you can position yourself to where right before it starts moving, and then we can do our tracking. Okay, you can pick any point on the car to track. Just make sure you try to keep it as consistent as possible. You can choose the man, you can choose the tire. Okay, you can go with the front of the tire or the back of the tire, whatever's easiest for you to track. And you'll notice that we're making the motion diagram. We got little blue dots showing, and I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. And as you go through that, you'll see that the graph on the right side is starting to populate with the data. And you'll notice, unlike what we were doing with the rolling ball one where it was already set up for us, we're seeing that there's two sets of dots that are, or two lines, of data that are starting to be populated. And LoggerPro doesn't know whether we're trying to track one-dimensional motion, which we are, or two-dimensional motion, because this car could be taking off like this and not only changing its horizontal displacement, but also its vertical displacement. So LoggerPro gives us that option. For us, we really only care about this horizontal motion. So if you go over to your graph, right, the red is showing the horizontal motion, and right, the car's not lifting off the table. You see it's not a perfectly straight line because there's a little human error in here. But the vertical motion is not changing, right? The height of the car off the table. So we can change that setting by clicking on, right, just a regular right click on the y-axis, and it's giving us the option to graph things. If we wanted to overlay these graphs and even the velocity graphs, oh, now we have a lot of lines going on here. Let's just use, right, we're just interested in the position of the X, so it gets rid of all of that other data for us. Okay, now this looks a lot like the position versus time graph. The only difference is in the CMBL file, they actually put a title on the graph, which is always a good idea. But we see we have time in seconds on the x-axis and x in meters, position in meters on the y-axis. Now you can go through, right, and highlight your data, and you can start trying to do line fits and analyze. So that's how you insert your own file and get a position versus time graph in LoggerPro.